Christian-Frédéric Bloquert, I'm pleased to welcome you here.
Well, thank you for having me here. I'm really excited. It's an honor to be here.
You are French, you live between Paris and New York, and you spent most of your childhood and youth in different countries, the Dominican Republic, the UK, and Australia. After studying classical guitar in Santo Domingo, you turned to rock and jazz. Now you're studying composition and conducting in the United States with Matthias Pincher. Your aesthetics is influenced by philosophy, visual arts, literature, and film. And your musical expression is correspondingly broad and does not want to be firmly located in any genre. You also compose jazz and film music. Tonight, your piece Le Temps qui se perd dans ses yeux will be premiered by the Basel Symphony Orchestra, directed by Frances Pratt. Christian, does your openness towards musical genres also reflect in this new piece? And if yes, how?
I think so. I think it doesn't reflect necessarily directly, but everything I do opens ideas and influences directly or indirectly how I write in any genre. So in this particular piece, sometimes when I'm writing, I might be drawn to a certain type of sound that might be reminiscent of another genre, but I won't be consciously stealing ideas from somewhere else and putting them in. It'll just be a subconscious realization of something like that. So sometimes something might sound like it might be more at home in a jazz arrangement or something like that, or in a film, but it's not directly conscious. It's more of a happy result.
And where does this strong reference to painting come from?
Well, I think it goes back some time. I've always loved images. I'm a big fan of film. I'm a big cinephile. I love films in general. But I think this reference to images in general comes back to when I was younger. So before I went and studied composition, I was studying mathematics for a brief period of time, and then I changed to music. But one of the key moments that happened when I was studying mathematics was when someone told me that it was easier to visualize equations rather than just looking at them as they were written on the page. So in the same way that if you read a novel, you're not going to just look at the words, you're going to have the images in your mind. And when you look at mathematical formulas, you don't look directly at the formulas, you look at what they represent. And in this case, that's how I think I approach the music. You don't I didn't listen to the music, I didn't write the music specifically for the music, but for what it represents.
You wrote also that you wish for the listening is to be like wandering through the piece of music, as when the gaze wanders over a painting from the detail to the whole and back. Music, however, unlike painting, cannot be listened back and forth. How is this idea set into music?
Well, that's something I wrestled with for quite some time, because I came to the same conclusion as you. You can't go back in music. In painting, you can look at a corner of a painting and then you can move forward, and then you can go back, having had the perspective of somewhere else brought back to your original position. But in music, you can't make time go backwards. It's not possible. But so what I thought was that my job as the composer was not necessarily to create the image as much as it was to, in a way, hold the listener's hand or the listener's ear, for instance, and just take them through what I was seeing. So I suppose there has to be some amount of trust in I'm walking them through what I experience. And that's how I perceived that general idea of wandering. So I'm technically guiding them through the wandering. So it's somewhat free, or at least as free as I could hope it to be. Yeah.
So finally, what does the title "Le temps qui se perd dans les yeux" mean?
I do write poetry every now and then, and that's where I take a lot of my titles from, because I will write words, and the meaning of them will it's instantly to jump out to me, and often I will write the title of the piece, and the piece somehow already exists, and I just have to put it down on paper and realize it from there. Le temps qui se perd dans ses yeux means it's an exploration of time and people